routine po when learning new pieces po or
Yes.
the daily routines po?
I'm sorry,
What is your daily routines po? When learning new pieces
Daily
po?
routine.
daily routine.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say it's a big work, for example, right? Again, remember I already said today, you have to research. It's not just, you start a piece and you don't know anything about it. No, you have to research who composed it, what was happening in history at that time, right? Or what's about, is it based on what inspired it, things like that. For example, I just played the token dance, right? So it's, we had to do research, what inspired this, or it's based on a Gregorian chant, and it's about the day of wrath, or the day of judgment of God, that's why it sounds like that. Then comes the sight reading. Sight reading, right? You do that too. Sight reading, in my case, okay, let me tell you a story, okay? This is probably something nobody knows. So, sight reading, in my case, okay, when I sight read, I already start to memorize. That's why sight reading has to be correct. How do you memorize? How do you memorize?
By system po. Every system na memorize po tapos matapos po next system then memorize again.
What system is that? Oh. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay, so when you memorize, you have to analyze. Any which way, right? Any which way. It may be not theoretically correct, but for example, you analyze your harmony, you analyze your interval. Oh, the first time, this is like this chord. Or whatever, it doesn't have a formula, but you have to analyze. Why am I saying this? When I first got into Moscow Conservatory with that teacher of mine who was a Russian national artist, so I was very happy I got in through the help of my professor here in the Philippines, Carmencita Arangulo. Okay, that's another story. But anyway, so I was happy. Okay, I have my first lesson. And he gave me an assignment. Okay, we used to have 6 lessons a week. Give or take. 6 lessons a week. So maybe I came on a Thursday and told me, come back. No, Tuesday, come back Thursday. Chopin Nocturne. Okay, I went home. So I practiced. I also had other subjects, so you really have to find time to practice with all the other subjects. I was able to memorize it in 2 days. I was proud of myself. Yay! I go to lesson. So went to the lesson. I just memorized it. Didn't do anything about it. Didn't research about it. Didn't analyze the dynamics. Didn't analyze the piece. It was a bad lesson. You did appreciate it. Anyway, I was so proud. And I said, wow. Everything was like, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, da 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 da. Oh, I cried all the way home. So, since then, when I learn a piece, I would do the step by step. Learn what inspired the composer, what is behind the composition. And when I did my first lesson of the Tchaikovsky Concerto #1, he asked me about the orchestration. Oh my gosh. But I have to get the score too and study the orchestration. What instrument is it? So, since then, that formed my routine or my habit of learning a piece. Whether it's a solo piece or piece with orchestra, you have to know that. It changed my way of doing things. Memorization is nothing to them. You always come to the lesson already memorized. There's no like reading or, oh, I forgot, can I get, no. That's beyond their requirements as a given already. If you come to class, they have it memorized, they have it analyzed, you know the orchestration, you know the harmony, you have the history behind it. It affected the way I study up to now. So if you ask me about the routine, that's my routine. Everything. Yeah, it's out of this world.
The 6 days, that's fine.
No. Tuesday, we have a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 2 days of those are with the assistant. Yeah. But we don't have to do it 6 days a week, but we have that opportunity, and I wanted, I really like doing it. And what else? What's different there too? The lessons had no time. Let's say the teacher works from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. All of us is like this. For example, the lesson is, we have 2 sign ladies, the concentrate in the classroom, because sometimes we have to be accompanied, and then another piano, historical piano, but it's, you can't touch that. You say, oh, this is the piano of Rachmaninoff. Yeah, you cannot touch that. It's open. It's something like this. And you play, and so you learn also, even if that's not your piece. It's full of people sitting on the chairs, on the windowsills, and so it's like public. So if you don't do well, it's like, oh, so you really have to be prepared. There's no time, like 1 hour, half hour, there's nothing like that. You have to work as much as you need to. That's how it goes. And now I'm teaching, it's not like that. We can do it in the States, in our normal Western life. There it was different. Everything was subsidized by the government. All the students who studied there are scholars because everything was free from the Soviet government. So, you know. I don't know how to say it. Like, please follow my routine. It's a different routine.
So, yung next question po, dalawang third po siya. Yung unang third po, paano, how do you go about with the anxiety po when performing po? Or parang kinakabahan po?
Ayan. Alam mo. Ha?
Nadating talaga ang slide.
Well, okay, number 1, okay? If you know that you did everything, you practice as much as you can, that should lessen your anxiety. I'm not saying it works all the time. And even if you tell someone, don't be nervous, you think that works? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Okay, so what I do before I perform, I say, God, I did everything I could. The rest you do. It works. And also, excuse me, when you're performing, you should be in the zone. Our mind or our brains, I think, has enough space. It's either you have inspiration or anxiety. In my case, I'm sorry, okay, maybe not everyone, but Mrs. Arangulo taught me this, my teacher, former teacher. She's like, think of a story. I thought it's about this or that. And so if you think about that, there's no other, like I'm afraid, will I forget this? Will I? There's no space for that because you're so inspired and you're into it. You know, try to get into that stage where you are really into it. Nothing matters. Whether your audience is an audience of 1 or 3,000, it doesn't matter. But if you're into it, like this is about it, and you enjoy it so much because you're in another world. Because when you perform, you're not in this world, you know, in this natural world. You're in another world. Okay, at least in my opinion, okay? And if you're in that world, then there's really no space for like, oh my God, what's gonna be next? Oh, what is it? Am I gonna forget? No, because I think our brain only has space for 1 or 2 things. If you're very inspired, that would lessen Okay, I'm not saying it will work for everyone, but that works for me.
Yung last question po, paano po yung preparation, how do you prepare po sa competitions po?
Oh, no. The same thing. You just have to work hard. And, okay, secret. Don't think of it as a competition. Because this is not sports. Who plays fastest? Who plays loudest? No, I think who is 100% genuine and themselves. Do as you play, without thinking that I have to be better than the other one. That doesn't work. If you think, I have to be better than that, hey, it's not gonna work. But again, if you are in the zone, they will see that. It's like, I don't know. I may be wrong, but let's say you're in a beauty contest, and then you walk like you're already the winner with all the confidence, then without trying hard, extra hard, then they will see that, she looks like a winner. Or she sounds like a winner. And never compare yourself to others when you're competing. Just be yourself and be your genuine self. When I was competing in Moscow, they're much more experienced than me, more seasoned, because I was just a student. What they would do, because we have we were given practice rooms. Oh, they would open the lid and they would get this to scare others. I'm better, listen to me. No, what I did, I just practice and just, did what I have to do. So practice, not showing off anything. I had nothing to lose anyway at that time. Really nothing to lose. So the ones who were so eager to win had so much pressure in them that they lost the genuineness, or what word would that be, their really true self. And because they really wanted to win, they were nervous, and one of them even took I'm not going to name names, tranquilizer. And I went, ganun tugtog. It was just so slow tempo. So instead of helping himself, nawala siya. Right? So just be yourself. That's the secret. Be yourself. Be yourself, enjoying your music. They will see that. Okay.
Just to add, whenever we meet in some competitions, the audience are expecting a certain competitor to win. But in the judges' mind and comes to ranking, they don't win. That happens.
No, that happens all the time.
All the time, even if there's a favorite among the participating contestants, and they will not win. And it's too hard for them to accept because for them practicing too much, they think that they're supposed to be the ones who will win and they're the best. Sometimes you have to prepare yourself thinking like how I did in Nacha. First round, eliminated.
Oh.
But I accepted that. See, I think you need to learn also how to accept that.
In anything naman, we cannot, succeed in everything. But, you're right. Because the judges have, it's by number, by points. By points. So they see points. That's why it's good to have many different judges. So there's really no, how do you call that? No, there's no bias, and there's no, But in my case, I saw in the final the longest table. All the countries represented. Only my country was not represented. But anyway, it didn't matter. Just do what you need to do. Yes, Paul.
Hello. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
I'm John Sanchez, first year student from the certificate music of piano performance.
Performance.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay.
Sinanong po.
Okay.
I have two questions. One for piano technique and second for my personal question po.
Yes.
First question po, I would like to seek advice as what to do in order to execute the proper technique for wrist and for arm in order to be relaxed and free tension
Yeah, very important.
when playing chordal passages in the tempo of allegro orchestra, especially from the situation of pieces like Elf King, like Franz Schubert.
Okay, so one thing, the wrist, that's what I teach very early on. The wrist has to be flexible in anything you do. If you have a wrist that's stiff, you're not able to do anything. So the wrist, like for example, kahit yan, right? Itong ganyan yan, maninigas ka. No. Kaya yung mga exercises, even if let's say you have a staccato, your wrist staccato, right? Do you practice that?
Not much po.
And then, you know, when you come here, okay, so let's say, let me see. Sige, kasi dito mararamdaman mo kung tense ka. Kailangan dito, wala kang tension. Kapag ka nanigas ka dyan, mapapagod ka talaga. So, slow practice. By the way, guys who are in performance, slow practice is a must. If you practice fast all the time, doesn't work. It's gonna tank down. So kahit yung ganyan mo, magandang, just do it slow. Even in the octaves, everything, never do octave like this. Walang mangyayari. You're gonna tense up. And then sometimes when you have the, let me see. Can you put your arm on me? Are you relaxed? You're not relaxed.
Example.
You hang here. You hang it. Hindi, just go.
Relax.
Hindi ka relax. No, hindi ko ulit. Kasi you have to learn where the point of your relaxation. Para ito, ayan, relax, parang patay. Patay.
Parang patay.
Parang patay. Parang patay. Patay ka lang. Oh, yeah. Don't try. Mamatay ka lang. Hindi literal yun, ha? Ayan. Relax ka lang. Relax ka lang. Oo, kasi dito pag namigas ka, naku, wala, pag nagas ka, walang mangyayari. And then you will, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I will talk in English. Okay, then you will not last, you will get tired. Can you show me?
Very slow.
No, the way you do it.
Okay lang is octave.
Yung ginagawa mo yung oh, relax! I'm sorry. Sorry na parang sila mo. Relax ka lang. Ito, yan. Huwag kang, huwag kang, yan. Ganyan ka lang.
Ganyan ka lang for 1 hour.
Ganyan ka lang. So, kasi, makakami tayo yun. Epilepsy na yun. Ganyan ka lang. Kasi, when you use the wrist, okay, maybe you need exercises too before this. Kapag wrist, klaro yung wrist staccato, right? Did you do like wrist couple exercises?
Once, but
Kasi, ang ano dyan, excuse me po, ito, your arm, is parang, it's just a holder of your hand. It's still. Because the motion should start from the wrist. If the motion starts from here, then that's not wrist anymore. That means your wrist is stiff. The worst thing is the wrist is like a rock. So, ganyan ka lang. Ay, maybe if you are in your history class, magaling po ito. Ganyan ka lang, no? Ganyan ka lang. Ganyan ka lang. Yan, hanggang masana yung muscle mo. Hanggang bumilis. Yan, kasi hindi ma-execute yun. Yan, ganyan, mas relax. Sige, gawin mo na. Yan, kasi iba na, no? Naninigas ka na. 3 lang yung relax. Oh, ganyan na. Ulit. Sige lang. Sige lang, ha? Ulit. Ha? Ulit. Right. There, you see? Relax. Pati yung daliri mo naninigas. Okay. That's the first thing you have to learn. Relax, relax. Kahit hindi ko yun. Kahit pang hihinga ka, kailangan mo may yung muscle mo in between eh. Hindi tight. Right. Right. Kahit ganyan ka lang. Mabagal. Oh, nanigas na. Try to retain the flexibility. Your goal now is not speed. Speed, remember, speed is always the last thing. That last goal. Very, very last. Okay, so ngayon, mabagal lang. Relax. Oh, very. Yeah, of course. Relax. Relax. Saka you have to maintain it. Yan, hindi yung relax sa umpisa, manigas. Yeah, this is very important. Yeah?
this was circuit.
Yeah. Kasi ito nga rin, tinugtugo yung total, tas lahat, hindi ka tatagal eh. Yung relax is the key. Relax. At tapos minsan, nakikita ko yung tension mo nagagaling dito. Kasi yan. See, the most normal position as an instrument, anong instrument ang pinaka-normal ng position? Ganito ka? Left. No. I mean, except for those. Yan, no? Pabang shoulders. Ito hindi. So, ikaw, yung instrument mo, pang relax. Kasi, you just have to, relax your shoulders. How the body falls, right? Yan yun. Kasi ito. So, umpisa pa lang ng pag-aaral, yung wrist ang importante. Because how do you do a two-note phrase? How do you do a two-note phrase? So, kailangan ito. Kailangan ng wrist. Right? So many techniques. You really need that wrist. Do you have a piece na merong two-note phrase? Kahit na ano. Wala kang two-note phrase? Ano, which ba? Mahaba yun. Alin yun? Two-note phrase. Kahit Mozart, diba? Maraming gano'n.
Yung intro, about intro.
Kahit basta may two-note phrase. Let's show me how you do two-note phrase. That two-note phrase, like yung Arrieta. May Mozart na ba? Wala. Wala. So, let's say, do this. How do you do that? Yeah, so by the time, relax na yun. Oh, that wasn't bad though. Right. So, ano ba yung tugtog na ano po ang example? Yeah. Parang, yeah, but exactly. I had something in my head. Ano yung in my head? So, yeah, so, kailangan ko yung this, right? Right. Yeah. And then when you do a two-note phrase, which one is loud? Which one is soft? The first or the second?
The first one.
Ang loud, oo. So, so the second one is already going up like that. So that's, yeah. So now, at that point, your muscle should be 100% relax already. Walang yung tinatawag mo kanina, ganyan. Na-relax, oo. Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, the wrist is like key to a lot of techniques. Okay. Yeah, even in the
Foundation.
yeah, without the flexible wrist, you won't be able to play a lot of things, or you cannot play anything. Pag naninigas. Because I start kids too from beginning. And that's the first thing that I pay attention to. That they don't develop that stiff wrist. Kasi that's the end of the journey. Yeah. Talagang kailangan. So they grow up na walang problema sa wrist. Yeah, but kahit anong phrase is not, it doesn't have to be two-note phrase, it can be four-note phrase, but at the end, you end up relaxed. Tapos ito, wala talaga. Hindi pwedeng kasi kailangan huminga ng muscle, yung paper, hindi yung tight, ganyan. Ano yung sabi mo, two parts, this the first part, yung second, third. Yung second part ng question mo.
For my personal po,
Ako.
personal question po.
Ano yun?
For my
For my second question, is it possible for like families for around age of 12, 14 with devotion and rigorous training to participate from the international setting in the long run in the future?
And you know, I don't believe in limits. If, let's say, you start that time, and if you work hard, then you can get it. Who am I to say that it's late? No. Because there are those who study early and then they kind of flounder the age 10, 11, 12, and then that's it. So, I don't believe in limits. I mean, I'm kind of small, right? No, I'm not kind of small, I'm really small. I don't believe in limits. I don't believe in, you're just small, that's all you can do. Or you're gonna be doing small sounds. I don't believe in that. Because you can be, small, but you have to think big. You have to think big. Because if you also think small, then you limit yourself. You have to think big. Yeah, you can do it. Do everything that you can. There's no limit. No. Be healthy and so that you can do things, but don't put any limits on you just because you started late. My friend Raul didn't start that. Raul did not start that early. Yeah, he started late. Started like maybe 9 or 10. He didn't start early. But now he's the busiest concert pianist here. Yeah, he didn't start early. Yeah. Don't put limits on yourself. Say you started late. But if you work hard, but the thing is, you cannot do anything just dreaming, okay? You have to work for it. And in the case of piano, you have to work correctly. Correctly. Just Yes, you can work many hours, but many hours of wrong practice, then you're gonna develop bad habits that's gonna stop your progress. Make sure it's good habits. Yeah. And so that's why they ask me, the students, how many hours should I practice? Oh, yeah, how long should I practice? It's not how long. It's not the quantity, it's the quality. Because quality of practice, meaning, let's say you set a goal. Oh, in this today, I'm going to memorize this, or today I'm gonna try to be able to accomplish this passage. Then you have a goal. Instead of your goal is like, sometimes even my students do that. Oh, 1 hour? Tapos na. But what did you accomplish? Just, I said, if you do that, you didn't practice. You just sat on the piano. Practice is different. Practice is, it has to make sense. You know, like, let's say for a technique, oh, I'm gonna do this slow practice today, but if it's like time that you're thinking of, then that's not good. Like you put in time, but you don't put in quality, that equates to 0. Okay? No, he said that, I'm just saying that because he said that you start late, then make sure that the time that you spend practicing is quality time. Right? Because oh, I want to learn how to be more relaxed in my office. Even if that's the only thing that you accomplish, but you accomplish that, and that accomplishment is for life. Why? Because if you learn how to play with that technique, you can use it for other pieces too, not just that piece. Other pieces that require a lot of octaves. Okay, so very important. Quality of practice, not quantity. A lot of thinking too. Sometimes we have problem with the technique, and then how can I solve this? It's not always I'm solving this by practicing 10 hours. No, sometimes you have to think, what is the problem here? Maybe you have wrong fingering, right? So then we figure out other fingering, or maybe I'm thinking wrong. Sometimes you can also think wrong. For example, you have 2 passages, okay? These are not in the books, these are what it's based on experience. For example, you have difficult passages, and you know what we play with 2 hands that are playing different things. So, tell me, can we do 50% of thought here and 50% of thought here? Is it possible to do 50% of your brain here and 50% of your brain here? Is it possible? Will that work? What do you think?
I think po, ma'am, first mahirap po siya. But if focus po is so practice, is it possible?
No, you can't do that. You cannot do 50-50. Not at all. Always one hand is a leader, the other one is a follower. But it's not always the right hand is a leader and the left hand is the follower. This one can also be the leader and this one can also be the follower. Sometimes you think that way. Sometimes you think, how come I'm not getting it? I'm thinking about this and thinking about that. Then you change. Oh no, this hand can follow this. It can be, and then once you change the thought, and all it took was a second to realize that, you get it. So it's like a button that you press. That's the strategy. Believe me, that happens. The brain has so many things happening in it. No other people can see what you're thinking about. Experiment it. Let's say you have 2 difficult passage with 2 hands with difficult parts. Experiment it. Like, okay, let me focus on this hand and let this hand follow, if it's appropriate for the material. And then change. See which one works. But never 50 here, 50 there. We're not wired that way. Believe me. Okay?
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes po. Yes po.